Anyway, hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Unusual Suspects. You know who I am, but let me introduce everybody that's here. We have an amazing show. We have an amazing guest. Let me go around and tell everybody who's here. Umberto's here. Guys, he's doing this new look with these pit sunglasses. Legitimately.
You should sponsor me.
You have sex with these things on.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic. Do they fog up?
Splash free.
Splash free. Hey, we got Shane in the house with his nice fitted blue shirt. Rob with the PBD podcast shirt.
Correct.
This
Available at VTmerch.com.
Cross promoting, and I love it. And our guest today, he is a attorney for media and tech. He's on a podcast called The Preliminary Narrative, all the way from Los Angeles. Matt Bilinsky, what's up, brother?
What's going on, man?
Chillin'?
Pleasure to be here.
Oh, thank you for being here. Brother, that voice, you guys hear that? That's the voice that'll put you to, like, that radio, put you
Yeah,
to sleep.
I told him that.
Oh,
Radio
you can go
voice.
on radio all freaking day.
No, it's all here to lull you to sleep. That's what I'm here for. Exactly.
I'm
Right?
tired.
All right, Max, do me a favor. Just look into the camera and tell everybody just a brief minute who you are and what you're about.
Sure. I'm a tech media attorney, represent a lot of startups, brands, digital media, brands you might find primarily on the internet, but I'm probably better known for howling on the internet and talking about a variety of current events, news issues, and specifically focusing on how the media has kind of traditional media has contaminated the information ecosystem, is lying, fabricating, trying to manipulate consensus, and trying to establish the prevailing narrative to contrast the narrative that's being driven by the nodes in the information network.
Got you. So just going on a limb, you weren't a fan of the Biden administration at Twitter censoring all the stories?
No.
I just want to make sure that Matt's with us, but that's fantastic. I'm going to go through the stories really fast. Something happened in Brazil. I didn't show it because I wanted it to be a surprise to you. Some lady went to a bank to get a loan. It's to die for, literally. Shane's going to talk about government what?
Spying.
Oh, weird.
Spying
Weird. They're
Yep.
doing that.
A new one.
Really?
Oh,
Yep.
weird. Another one.
It's even better.
Matt's going to talk about Charlie Sheen, if he's a murderer or not. Fantastic.
Great.
Humberto, Dubai cloud seeding. And it's not seeding, not like they're planting stuff, but they're doing stuff.
Allegedly.
And Rob's going to talk about zombie deer. I love these type of stories, but before we get into them, Kelly, I love you too. Kelly wrote, I love you on my card, which is freaking amazing. I love her too. Guys, if you haven't downloaded the Minnect app, Mac, I'm going to tell you about it after if you haven't heard about it. It's
sure.
an app. Like, dude, Cameo, this is for professionals. If you want to talk to people from business, entrepreneurs, comedy writing, YouTube channels, everything, lawyers, you could be on there. Rob is on there. That's a QR code. Scan him. Who else is on there? Shane is on there. Anything but writing, philosophy. The guy is a freaking scholar. Literally. Humberto's on there. Look at him. From Chile with the American flag behind him. Anything about internet, social media.
That's what it is.
You name it. You want to blow up? Get him. Kelly, look how cute this little rascal is. Anything with production, anything about YouTube, anything about shows, podcasts, whatever. Kelly's the girl. And guys, there's a competition right now. If you don't know about it, it's a competition for professionals, for users, for everything. Download that QR code. And by the way, not to brag, I'm in first place Kelly's in second. Let's go. So guys, please get on Minnect and download if you haven't. And if you are, connect with the person that you want to. Anyway, first story, getting into it. Dude, I saw this story, and you ever have one of those moments where you're like, it can't be real.
Every day.
Every day
Now.
Every
Yeah.
single day. So a woman brought a man in a wheelchair into a Rio de Janeiro bank to try to get him to co-sign a $3,300 loan, but the man had been dead for hours. Erica D'Souza, 42, was arrested Tuesday following the bizarre incident in Banju, a neighborhood in western Rio de Janeiro. Police Chief Fabio Souza, who heads the 34th police station, said the victim had likely been dead for at least 2 hours. In the video, Miss Nunes is reportedly heard calling Braga her uncle as she spoke to the dead body and propped his head up. Employees of the branch became concerned with the Souza's actions while she tried to get a lifeless Braga to sign a document and then called the police, who arrested her on the scene. Guys, this is Weekend at Bernie's in real life. This is a bank employee, Matt, recording her, and she's literally, look at what she's doing to this poor guy, this poor dead soul. Jesus Christ. Dude.
Yeah, it's dark.
Holy like.
How badly do you need money?
Oh my God, bro. Dude, are you?
Look at her face.
Yeah, watch. Look at her face.
igual documento aqui, ó.
You know what she's saying? Uncle, are you listening? You need to sign here.
O senhor segura. Posso bater na cadeira aí? Ele não segurou, ele é
Like, she really thinks she's gonna get away with it.
100%. Oh, dude.
She thinks she's getting pulling
Bro,
over everybody.
Look at, I mean, the audacity. Like,
Assina pra não dar
so, but yeah, while you guys keep watching, she's saying, sign, you don't have to give me any more headaches. I can't take it anymore. She goes, and then somebody asks what's wrong with him. She goes, he's like that. He doesn't say anything. Uncle.
Or
He's
pray.
shy. She goes, Uncle, do you want to go to the hospital again? And then oh, dude. So yeah, Kelly, you can stop it. So guys, so I keep hearing news because we have somebody. Esdras works for us. He's from Brazil. He has like boots on the ground. Boots on the ground. He was like, he's like, apparently she brought him to the mall. He dies. They were already supposed to go to get this loan. He dies, and she's like, well, I need the money, so I got to keep going with it. I think one of the funniest, because by the way, you know, the internet's undefeated. One of the first comments was on Twitter, goes, that guy still has more life about him than Joe Biden. That was the first one. But yo, Matt, you see something like this.
Yeah.
She's obviously got arrested, but where do you stand? At what point it's like, you were going to go get the loan, the guy dies, do you go through?
Okay, wait. So it's confirmed that they were. They were on their way for this loan.
Yeah,
to be
100%.
given.
He was already pre-approved. He was pre-approved.
That's a bit of a curveball here, because what I was thinking when I initially saw this was this girl just was planning for whenever this uncle died. Like, hey, I want to go run this game on the bank and go get this money, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's even more comical, but also a little more understandable. There's like, oh shit, this was something that was going to happen. She was literally in process. She's like, oh, okay. Just like you're literally seeing that. What if we pretend he didn't die?
Yeah,
like right from
yeah.
Weekend at Bernie's. They're like, we're going to have a good weekend. Might as well just milk the weekend with this dead body, right? It won't start stinking for about 48 hours. She's thinking the same thing.
So from a legal standpoint, and you being a lawyer,
he's dead. Yeah,
she's arrested. But no, what I'm saying is, so she's going to go to jail. What type of crime? I get it. It looks like shit. It's morally wrong. But he died. We were going anyway.
Yeah.
What's the I mean, how?
No,
like,
it's the fraud in that she's misrepresenting that he is alive.
Gotcha.
And in maybe some conspiracy or in furtherance of forgery, because she's trying to he's dead. Like, he can't sign anything, right?
But here's my question to you, though. Can she play the whole, he's always like that. The guy is limp. Yes, his color was off, but it's because he didn't take his vitamins.
Listen, it didn't work the first time. I don't think it's going to work the next time.
What were you going to say?
This gives me White House vibes. You know, it's like
That's hilarious.
This is basically the White House every day. Sign this, sign that.
Oh my
sign
God,
this.
that's brilliant.
You know, but $33,000 can get you a lot.
$3,300. It was $17,000, but for their money, it's $3,300.
I mean, that can get you a lot of caipirinhas and a really good time in Brazil.
Oh, of course.
Hey, to all my Brazilian friends there, that's a good time in Brazil.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the thing is, like, I can imagine, okay, the guy dies. What plays in her head? Like, okay, I'm going for it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There has to be something. Dude, I'm pretty sure because I haven't. It just came out, so there's not that much research on it. But there has to be something wrong with you as a person, as a female, to be like, he's dead. You know he's dead, but I'm gonna go through like. How, like, Shane, you see something like that, what do you think?
I mean, depending on what part of Brazil that is in, I bet it's not even that, like, crazy for them.
It's right near
because-
Banjo.
Although the woman did start recording, so she's like, okay, what is happening right now? This guy's clearly not
Yeah,
okay.
they're
wondering about
recording.
that.
Yeah, that's the other person recording is the bank, like, not the manager, but somebody that works at the bank. Bitch,
Yeah, like-
put the phone down and call 911.
Bitch is a dead guy trying to sign a loan right now in front of me. Like, she's just speechless, too. She's, like, not even asking any questions as the woman goes through this whole procedure.
Oh, my
like,
God,
just,
yeah.
like,
Rob, what do you think?
open-jawed.
It's sad.
Sad.
Rob, what the hell are you doing?
You again?
Yeah,
Rob,
yeah,
we're
can't get rid of me.
shooting.
Yeah.
Rob, you know we're live.
Okay, bro, you have to sit down now.
Rob, we're. By the way,
He's banned,
that's
he's
Rob
banned.
O'Rourke.
Our Supreme
By the way,
Leader.
guys.
The door was open.
Oh, guys, give it up for Rob for crashing the stack.
Now we know just how
Hey.
genuine.
Rob, just slow
Yeah.
walk back.
So
Thanks,
authentic.
Rob.
Rob is the only person to be banned from the usual suspects. The only strike we ever gotten
The
That
only
guy right-
strike we've
That
ever
guy.
got was
Yep.
from the guy that just crashed the freaking podcast.
Director studio.
By the way, I see him, and
I
he,
think
by the way,
it's the other way.
he stands right there and goes, "You guys staying out of trouble?" Well, Rob, we're trying to stay out of trouble.
Nothing
That
to you.
was hilarious. That's so funny. Well, the door wasn't locked, but I mean,
Well, it is what it
should
is.
know we're going back to
We're
that.
live.
Oh, live,
We're
live. And so the
live.
people at home know we're not effing around. This is.
What a
What, did he think you were
Tuesday.
just talking to
What a
yourself?
Tuesday.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But the fact that he thought like, by the way, it's quiet. We're talking. We're doing
You tried
the
to tell him a
podcast.
few times too. It's like the bank teller, like, are you aware of what you're doing? It's like, no, I'm doing this. I'm doing this.
Like, Rob, is this real life?
So we were the dead guy in the wheelchair.
Yeah, we're just hanging out,
That guy in the wheelchair,
propping
Rob.
us up.
Rob, what
No,
do you
it's.
think?
I mean, we make jokes about the president, but last week we played a clip of the the Kennedy family endorsing Joe Biden,
Yeah.
and you watch Joe Biden on stage, and I hate to say it, the dude looked just like that person in the wheelchair, and it's not a joke, and that's terrifying considering where we're at. In geopolitical times where there's war in Iran, now in Israel, Ukraine, there's multiple global conflicts, and then you look to the leader of the free world, and there's no difference between the guy that was in that wheelchair and the guy standing on stage falling asleep as the Kennedy family gives their endorsement
Standing
last
up,
week.
standing
Yeah.
on his 2 feet, falling asleep like he's a fucking pink flamingo.
You know what? It's a clear description, like a graphic description of what the managerial class does.
Yeah.
They elect someone into power, they grab their hand, they sign this stuff,
Yeah.
and that's
They
why
don't even need to be alive.
they don't even need to be alive.
Well,
No requirement.
Well, that's why Trump. That's why, and I want you to get to your point, but that's why Trump was such a problem because once he got in and he said all the shit that he said, they were like, whoa, 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 whoa. We want the dead body guy.
Yeah.
We don't want you. Who the hell is this? And I mean, dude, and just 'cause I want to know, Matt, your point, because I'm going to go to both of you guys. But I think that was one of, by the way, and I love Donald Trump. I think one of the major problems was in war, because he's going to war. That's who he chose. You cannot let the enemy know what you're going to do. When he told them, I'm going to drain the swamp, when he told them, I'm going after the deep state, like, and I say this multiple times, Matt, you don't drain the swamp and let them know that you're going to drain it, and the alligators go quietly. What do you?
Yeah,
What do you
no. Donald Trump, I have more mixed feelings on him. I can identify some positives, some things that I'm just not going to let go that he does. However, there's a lot of times when people were running after him with torches and he decided to douse himself with kerosene.
Yeah.
Bad idea. You're making it too easy on everybody else. And also that, and see, people have Anthony Scaramucci has interesting thoughts on Donald Trump. Obviously, now he doesn't like him because he got fired and Trump turned on him. But Scaramucci was a guy who was very pro-Trump, one of the first high-profile guys to come out publicly as supporting Donald Trump. So sometimes worth listening. He's like, listen, man, there was too much chaos and listen in the Trump administration to get anything done. What, for instance, some people don't like Donald Trump because they claim he's racist, sexist, this, that, and whatever. No, I don't believe that. I'm more of like, yo, man, you said you were going to get infrastructure done. You didn't get infrastructure done. I'm like, more practical stuff.
Yeah.
And like Scaramucci, I think it was even yesterday, said, we didn't get, it was infrastructure, supposed to be infrastructure week every week, and it never became infrastructure week because there's too much chaos. There wasn't any organization. So it's like, that's where I think the guy.
Got you. But here's my question to you, though, Mal. I'm going to give you a little pushback, and then you can come back. How difficult do you think it was for somebody that came in and literally, besides the fact that basically asked for it, but when you have every mainstream media, when you have all of the left, all the fake the Russian collusion, when you have that whirlwind around you, and I'm not saying you can't still do your job, but how much more difficult? Never in the history of any presidency that we had was it this much of a blatant, obvious. I mean, they're still doing it right now with the courts, from Chuck Schumer to everybody, to Nancy Pelosi, to the FBI, to Hillary Clinton. Bro, how can you even think about doing a job when every single day it's stopping a fire from that's going to get you basically impeached or arrested or kicked out? I think there's a You know what I mean? Like, I don't get me wrong.
I listen. I give him, in certain regards, I cut him some slack. For instance, I see fine people on both sides. I watched that press conference in real time. It is eerie the extent to which the second that press conference was over, the media set off, lit the fuse for there to be a false narrative. This is kind of a little bit about my podcast, The Prevailing Narrative,
They're
right?
still
They
using, by
they-
the way.
Yeah, they're
No,
still
no.
using-
They run an ad on it.
Yeah, but they literally the second that was over, Wolf Blitzer goes, I can't believe what do you think about him referring to fine people on both sides? I was like, okay, wait a second. They just completely misrepresented what just occurred.
You saw it live.
No, I saw it in real time, right? So I do cut him some slack, but then it's just like, Jesus, there was a lot of opportunities for him to rectify that or put it out into the universe that like, hey, check, here's what they're saying. I said this, and this. And he seemed, Scott Adams, Scott Adams, the
course,
dope
of
guy,
course.
even Scott Adams got a little pissed off at him. He's like, they gave you a softball for you to say, I disavow this person or that person. This is what I really said. And he wouldn't do it. And it would kind of have me scratching my head. So on a lot of occasions. So I cut him some slack, but there's still, as you said, maybe like calm down a little bit about it. I think he liked the energy and the boisterousness at his rallies and getting the cheers a little too much. And he prioritized that a little bit more than being practical and getting the things that were supportive of what he was saying done.
Okay,
Matt, do you think if Trump wins in November, gets in again, do you think he's going to face the same amount of chaos, even
Not
more,
close. No.
less?
Worse or more?
No, way less. Do you feel the energy? Everyone has amnesia. People have short memories. Do you remember the energy from 2015 to 2020?
Oh,
it was insane.
Oh, dude, I thought the devil was
is
gonna
it
come up.
is it 1/100th of that right now? No, man.
But we're not
Totally
close. But we're
agree.
not close. So we're gonna say.
No.
Oh, going back because I want to fact check myself because last midterm election they actually elected someone that was already dead. Like I know, like they've been electing almost dead for a while. I think the average age in the Senate is like 80 or
80,
something like that.
79 or 80, yeah.
79 or 80. And the last midterm election, they did elect someone that was dead, Tony DeLuca in Philadelphia.
He was dead?
He was
Oh,
dead.
that's right. That's right.
Officially dead.
Probably do a
So,
better job.
so that's where we're going now.
But you guys ever see that movie, The Distinguished Gentleman, with
Of
Eddie
course.
Murphy? Yeah. Jeff Johnson.
That's exactly what the hell's going
Name
on.
you know.
All right, guys. So, I still can't believe that guy's. I mean, I'm still wondering that because that money's going to have to go somewhere from the loan. But, all right, next story. Shane, the government is spying. We obviously
Yes.
know that, but what extent? Talk to us.
Okay, so the Senate is right now working to advance a reauthorization of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, otherwise known as FISA. And it contains a provision that's so bad that Senator Ron Wyden calls it terrifying. So Section 702 of the bill represents the biggest expansion of government surveillance powers since the Patriot Act, according to espionage experts. The House of Representatives voted in favor of it, 273 to 147. That's 147 Democrats and 126 Republicans.
Four?
In favor of it. What it will do is, so right now it's only applicable to foreign adversaries, foreign targets. However, currently it allows them to collect communications they have with Americans too, if it's with them and if it's a part of a case about a foreign adversary. This expansion will allow them to collect communications from any location, not just from their phones, but from laundromats, from coffee shops, from anywhere with a Wi-Fi connection. In just, perhaps there might be foreign adversary communications in these networks. So, and they're only giving a promise, an empty promise to say, we promise we won't use this to build cases against Americans. We're just going to have to collect all this data in order to build cases against the foreign adversaries.
Promise.
Yeah,
Like when we
Trust us.
when we unfreeze $10 billion to Iran and John Kirby goes, they're going to use it for humanitarian purposes. Go F yourself.
Well, just like the Patriot Act
Yeah.
was designed to help protect the American public from scary guys in Afghanistan hiding in caves, and remember sleeper cells are all across the United States.
I was going to bring the same thing up. It pisses me off that guys are chanting "Death to America" in the middle of the street, cameras running, everything. What happened to that guy?
Nothing. What do you mean?
Here's what really pisses me off about that. They ain't sleeper cells. These are people we just let in. We knew they're just normal. These are just normal people who have a completely different set of values and simply have contempt for the values that we built this country on, that are the reason that they wanted to come here in the first place. And there's no guardrails around them expressing those values, right? It would almost be more comforting if it was a sleeper cell, because it's like, then somebody tried to pull the wool over our eyes. These guys didn't try to pull the wool over our eyes. There's just people who have contempt for our country and our values who just walked in.
Yeah.
Did you remember that video that you did? the guy that walks in and goes like, "You will soon know who I am."
Oh yeah, because he's like, you guys,
Yeah.
he's
What
threatening
do you
us
think?
in front of, and that guy
Literally said it.
He's here. And by the way, did you notice in the video? They didn't stop him. They didn't grab him. They didn't go, hey, that guy is in our country as we speak, and said out loud on camera, soon you will know who the hell I am. He goes, basically threatening us. Go ahead, Shane.
So they can say it out in the open, and they, for some reason, need to spy on secret channels when it's for us. Like it's obviously going to be designed for domestic spying. I mean, when they see stuff like that and they let that go, it's like they're obviously not very concerned about terrorism. So this expert named Elizabeth Goitin, she said that she's the co-director of the Liberty and National Security Program at the Brennan Center for Justice. She went off on this. She has a 25-tweet thread breaking it all down, explaining how it's like the worst thing ever. And she said that there are certain powers a government should not have in a democracy. The ability to force ordinary businesses and individuals to serve as surrogate spies is one of them.
Jeez.
It's basically turning everyone to a cop. Even if the targets are supposed to be foreigners, a power this sweeping will be abused. And you might ask, how did this get passed in the House when it's a Republican-led House and they've been, anti-spying since? So Matt Gaetz was against this. He led an assault against the bill, and he just said, we just brought President Trump an at-bat, saying that Trump is going to run on defeating this. But Mike Johnson, the speaker that everyone elected thinking that he was going to, fight against the deep state, he's completely in favor of it. He forced the Republicans to let go of an amendment they were going to add to it that would prevent them from expanding it to American citizens. And he brokered a deal, and he worked behind the scenes. And I wanted to play two clips that really show Johnson and his true colors. First one is Johnson talking about how we need to support Ukraine funding. Mind you, the whole reason why Johnson was put in office and why McCarthy was taken out was because of Ukraine funding.
Of course, yeah.
So now we did that whole thing. They get out. They do 8 rounds of voting for a new speaker, and they get in a new guy, and he does the exact same thing as McCarthy.
All right,
So
let's
play the first clip, Kelly.
This guy's starting.
Why are you willing to risk losing your job over this Ukraine funding?
Listen, my philosophy is you do the right thing and you let the chips fall where they may. If I operated out of fear over a motion to vacate, I would never be able to do my job. Look, history judges us for what we do. This is a critical time right now, a critical time on the world stage. I could make a selfish decision and do something that's different, but I'm doing here what I believe to be the right thing. I think providing lethal aid to Ukraine right now is critically important. I really do. I really do believe the intel and the briefings that we've gotten that I believe Xi and Vladimir Putin and Iran really are an axis of evil. I think they're in coordination on this. I think that Vladimir Putin would continue to march through Europe if he were allowed. I think he might go to Balkan. Have a showdown with Poland or one of our NATO allies.
He thinks he actually
To put it
thinks
bluntly, I would
Putin
rather
go to
send
war with
bullets
like he's Hitler.
to
All right, let's
Ukraine
start
than
the
American
next
Dude,
clip.
I've been hearing that multiple times this whole.
Yeah.
And Piers Morgan did that shit with Pat too. He's like, oh, you don't think that he's gonna go to
Come on.
Poland? Like, shut up! You guys pushed him to go to fucking Ukraine.
Like, okay,
Well, but two things can be true at the same time, right? He can be a brutal, murderous dictator and also not want to invade Poland.
I mean,
like those two things can exist.
Correct.
Yes.
It's
That's
like you
my
can be
favorite
against
kind.
you can be against him invading and killing Ukrainian civilians, but like don't make it seem like it's more than it is. He's simply trying to get back land that he believes is Russia's. He doesn't have these like fantasies of conquering the whole of Europe. Like this is just ridiculous.
And he's also not that stupid, okay? He knows he doesn't have the capability. Look how much trouble he's having with the goddamn Ukraine.
Yeah,
With a
that's
couple
great point.
gas
Like,
stations and
he's going to
field.
take over the entire globe, but he can't even figure out how to conquer.
And he's
Ukraine.
simultaneously smart, such an evil genius as they're trying to portray him that is such a threat, but simultaneously stupid enough to go try to reestablish the Warsaw Pact against NATO countries at like 1/50th the strength.
Yeah, he likes.
Yeah, that doesn't make
Plus,
any sense.
why is everyone so up in arms about Europe? It's a shit place. I've been there a bunch of times. Like,
Wow, wait, Chile throwing fucking.
You're like, no, it's spicy
Yeah,
shit.
exactly, bro.
shitty small cars everywhere. Everything is super expensive. High taxes. Everyone has an opinion. I just don't like it. Like, let
So,
him
but
take it
you-
over.
Nice architecture.
Nothing. And
Nice
it's-
architecture and better food than like Ukraine. I mean,
Well,
let's
we
be
have
honest.
pictures of those things. Like Europe is not. I'm not being funny.
I
here.
love that when Europeans watch an American shit talk their country, they're gonna look and they're gonna see him.
America #1.
With his most American glasses of all time.
Yeah, most American glasses.
No,
Yeah.
but jokes aside, the Europe has been invaded. There's nothing left to Europe. It's just a shell. They have a complete government there that is the EU. Like, it's funny. The new prime minister of Spain, he talks about Spain as part of Europe. Like,
Oh, really?
Europe as a country. So, I mean, they're done. They're doomed. And if they get taken over, as they've been getting taken over forever. I mean, the Moors took over Spain. The whole 1940 things happened. We're going to talk
It's a whole
about it.
different- yeah.
Like, Europe shifts. Like, we think of America as a country in a different way that Europeans think as countries, and a different way that Russians think of a country. You know, there's a bunch of tribes, like Germany. There's like 6 types of Germans. Germans from the south with Germans from the north have nothing to do with each other. Same with Italy. You have like Sicilians, and then you have people from the north, and they have nothing. They're different tribes. Even in Spain, you have people that speak 2 or 3 different languages. It's different. Borders shift. The things happen, and that's how it's been forever.
So you're not going on vacation to Europe
I
anytime
just
soon?
don't want my tax money on this deal.
I don't want
I
it
don't care
either.
enough about Europe.
Yeah,
Wait,
but,
they-
you know, I can still go to Ibiza for a couple days. Like,
Yeah, I mean, that's
I
fine.
don't know.
That's gonna be there.
I'll like, you know, Barcelona. I'll go
With
wander
more,
around for a couple
more
days.
hot Russian women in bikinis.
Yeah,
It's
like
better.
Swedish.
An upgrade.
Yes.
What are you going to say, Shane?
Matt's like, don't give up so quick. So
Not throw out the baby with the bathwater. Jesus Christ.
the way that you're describing what's happening in Europe, though, looks like it's going to happen here because of my second clip of Mike Johnson, where, remember, he said that he was going to solve the border first and then Ukraine.
I
okay?
remember that.
So Don Jr. assembled a montage of
This
this.
guy, he's such a... God bless you.
Sorry.
I'm telling all of you, and we've told the American people, border, border, border. We have to effect real policy change at the border, and that is a necessary condition to anything we do going forward. We have to take care of our border first. That's what the American people demands.
Every state in America is now a border state.
Border, border, border. How can we be engaged in securing the border of foreign countries if we can't secure our own? We know the urgency in Ukraine. We're going to stand for freedom and make sure that Vladimir Putin doesn't march through Europe. It's past time to secure the border.
Listen, this is a catastrophe down here.
The battle is for the border.
President Biden
so-
wants a supplemental spending bill.
there.
It better begin
I
by
don't- dude,
defending
he-
America's.
I love
So
how they
the-
kicked out McCarthy and they brought this guy.
Exactly.
That face, his hair, his glasses, his verbiage. It's such a typical
Such a cuck.
politician
The way
cuck.
the way that you shit on the Republicans, though, like the uniparty
They're
thing,
all
is
the
so
sa-
true. In this case, it's like why even get so worked up? Why even get so mad? Why even vote when this is what you get? Like, no matter what you vote for, no matter how much trouble you cause, they just bring in the same thing and the same exact thing happens.
Yeah.
And every time they're like, oh my God, look what the Democrats are getting away with. Oh, let's just sign this bill where the government can completely spy on everyone and we'll.
Yeah, and nobody gets to
It's
look
just-
at
it's
what's
just
in these
tiring.
bills, and
I
it's all
mean-
it's dude. It's not even tiring. It angers me that more people don't see it. And like you said, what are we going to do at the end of the day, bro? Because nothing else works. What are you going to do? Vote for a party? There is no party. They're the same shit. The Democrats do what they do. The Republicans are the controlled opposite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like how many, like we talked about it last week. How many times are you going to see on the Congress floor and Senate and everything, they bring somebody to judiciary, they're yelling at Mayorkas or whoever that's guilty as charged, and they go up there and they go, you're guilty, you did this, here's the proof, and they go, no,
give a
I
shit.
didn't, and they go, next, move on. Nothing happens. Nobody. Name one person that's been sent to jail since the pandemic till now.
Single one.
Well, January Sixers, but that's, I mean,
That's another kind of war.
people, that's a whole different, just standing, people that were just standing around.
You know-
people that weren't even there got fucking 20 years.
Yeah, but would you rather have Rand Paul grilling Fauci there and at least exposing some aspect of the truth, or not Rand Paul
Well,
not doing
No,
that?
true. I like, don't get me wrong. That's where the acting, the show comes in, man. People go, yeah, tell him off. What happens to him? Guess what happened to him? He still gets to retire. He's still getting paid. He still has Secret Service protection. Your tax dollar is paying that little rat Fauci to get protected. Why are you so protected? Like dude, I saw him walking for some documentary. There was guys like it was the president.
Yeah.
Why am I paying for your security?
We'll never know the origins of the C word. You know, I can't say.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
We'll never
Vinny,
know the origins.
Politics is showbiz for ugly people.
It
You
is.
stated that. And Johnson is the reason why most hotel rooms have a single chair. have a single chair
Why?
pointing at the bed.
So they can watch. It's called the cuck chair. Come on.
Yeah,
I mean,
come
what?
on.
Holy shit! Wait, what? I thought it was
Yeah,
for
dude, I didn't
working
see
on-
that coming, bro.
Yeah, I'm me and Matt are like, wait, I thought that was
Yeah.
for working on projects.
It's like anti-EU guy over here. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Wait, that chair is to watch people have sex on the bed.
Humberto's a dirty pervert. The other day we were joking around and I said something to somebody. I was like, yeah, like a video with a girl and a horse. And he goes, it wasn't a girl, it was a guy. The video's called Mr. Hands.
What the hell?
I've been on the internet for too long. I posted my first YouTube video 16 years ago.
16?
I'm doomed. I'm done.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
Done.
not
I am
sorry.
the internet.
There's no
Hey,
coming
Chad,
back.
I love you. You know
And,
I love you.
Hey, Rob, and to top it off, that guy was killed at the horse.
Come on.
Multiple reports. say.
Yeah, well, he did die because I mean that horse did anyway. But yeah, dude, so I mean with this type of because don't get me wrong, guys. Let's be honest with each other. There's since the Patriot Act, I mean their job was to spy on us all along. The Patriot Act pushed it really further. I think Mark Zuckerberg was probably one of the best gifts that the CIA could have ever asked for. Instead of them trying to go get our information, we are out there every single day putting everything out there. If you looked at my sister's Facebook, I'm not even joking. I'm not messing around. What she's eating, where she's going, who she's with, what's on her mind.
Geotagging
Rob,
everything.
the dog's outfits, God rest his soul, we think he's dead because he ran away. But you don't need to tap her phone. She's giving you the information.
It's my wife is off all social media, which I love. Yeah, like she doesn't have Facebook, Instagram, any of that stuff.
God
and it's-
bless her.
And it's so funny because then I have my buddy who's married, and his wife is on all of them, and he says all he gets all day from his wife are videos of these. Armchair psychiatrists talking about how they're narcissists or there's wrong. People can be fixed this way. People are wrong with this. And it's like complete total opposites. I have a great life. I love my wife. I'm like, oh, this is great. And then every day he's just getting bombarded with bullshit and propaganda from his wife, from social media. And you're right. I'm one of the earliest people. Like when I joined Facebook when you had to be in a college and have a college email address to register. Yeah, I'm old school. And I was one of the first people. I'm like, yeah, go ahead. Let me put everything on there. Yeah. And as I got older, I went, no, I don't want any. But like, I don't want to post when I'm on vacation. That tells what people who could have access to my Facebook page that I'm on vacation. My house is unattended. Go break into this motherfucker's home and steal shit.
Exactly. I think we give up too much. But that with them doing that FISA is the same shit that they went after Trump with. All they had to do is have a couple of signatures and you are tapped, you're bugged, they're spying on your house, and I think that going towards the American people it's a no-go for me. Charlie Sheen being a murderer or not. What the hell is going on?
Got it. Okay, so when I was thinking about coming on this show, I figured you guys would have the kind of current events, current news cycle covered. We get into that. So it's like, all right, what's something that is kind of sinister, under the surface, as you guys like to describe what you talk about. And there's something that barely under the surface because it's strange that it didn't get more publicity because it wasn't hidden. Nobody tried to hide it. All right, so Charlie Sheen, everyone remembers towards the beginning of the 2010s, he had a couple freakouts, flip outs, and he became this kind of weird pop culture figure. And we saw that he was a bit of a Looney Tune, but an entertaining Looney Tune. There are all these stories about, and then it comes out that he had AIDS, and then
still does, right?
Yeah, still has AIDS, and that you could kind of some of the things about his sexual proclivities you could suspect.
Yeah.
That seem to now be more likely. Yeah. Like, these stories about him is in court documents, his ex-wives claiming that they found strange pornography on his laptop. A lot of urban legends in LA about him having sex with transvestite prostitutes, things like that. Yeah. Okay, so the guy named Rick Calamaro was a guy named Rick Calamaro. When I got back from college and I was in LA, the first hotsy-totsy club I went to was called National in LA. And the guy who owned it was this guy, Rick Calamaro. He grew up at the Playboy Mansion. I think his mother was friends with Hugh Hefner, I believe, or anything. And he was an LA nightlife guy. He kind of faded from LA nightlife over the course of the 2000s. And he pops back up as Charlie Sheen's best friend / assistant at the end of the 2000s, in his crazy, highlighted phase. And Charlie Sheen also also was like a baseball obsessive. So he's friends with a lot of pro baseball players. I don't know if you remember a guy named Todd Zeal.
Of course.
Yeah. That was like Charlie Sheen's
That's his best friend?
Yes.
What?
Yeah. So then, kind of mysteriously, out of nowhere, 2012, I think it was 2011 or 12, Rick Calamaro dies of a drug overdose. You know, hey, nightlife guy, supposedly, you know, the typical story, most popular guy and so well known on the surface, and then deep inside, super lonely and problematic and all that. But over the years, a few people in LA start to kind of kick around the idea that, or at least the stories that Charlie Sheen was talking about having this guy killed.
Oh, shit.
All right, people that I knew in LA, I'm sure some of them might be listening right now or hear this. They know who they are. Yeah. And then, you know, but you hear rumors, there's no real way to substantiate it, right? Then the Charlie Sheen AIDS thing comes out, and you also start to hear about a lot of payoffs that a lot of people in Charlie Sheen's wife, women, knew about some of the videos that he had of him with transvestites or men or a lot of other smoking. You know, you'll see it on a bunch of stories about supposedly some videos of him smoking crack with a male hooker and having sex with a male hooker and all this stuff. Yeah. So a lot of smoke, a lot of fire, right? Then Lenny Dykstra, you guys familiar with Lenny Dykstra?
The Mets.
Nails.
Okay, nails. So another, but even if you want to talk about kooky guys who revealed their psychosis and how weird they are after they were outside of the limelight, Lenny Dykstra, known as kind of a con man, a fraud, gets in a lot of business trouble, and he pops up as a Charlie Sheen associate a little, you know, around the time he announced the AIDS thing, maybe within a year or two before or after. Then, and I don't know how this wasn't a bigger story, I think it was maybe 2018, there's a Hollywood Reporter interview with Lenny Dykstra that is fucking nuts, completely nuts about Lenny Dykstra's, but essentially talking about his friendship with Charlie Sheen. And in it, he says a number of things. Yes, a lot of confirmation. Yeah, Charlie Sheen got AIDS from a transsexual prostitute and had sex with all these men, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But also that he admitted to killing Rick Calamaro.
Oh, damn.
That's, once again, not what I said. That's what Lenny Dykstra said, just in case anyone's barking up that
that's
tree.
not coming from him. He's quoting what somebody else said.
Exactly. And so he says, I think he said that he kind of parroted that what he said was that Charlie made sure that Rick Calamaro got a hot dose, I believe it was.
Shit.
Yeah, and the suspicion was that Calamaro was aware of the videos, knew about the tranny prostitutes and this and that, and Charlie Sheen had him offed.
Very LA.
Wow. Very LA.
Wow, dude. I mean, very late, and you were, because you brought this up. I forgot what we were doing. I think it was a show here that we were talking about sex trafficking and all these underage kids and the pedophile from the Nickelodeon situation, and how, you know, people were arrested and then released from prison as a pedophile and then hired from by Disney or somebody else. And I was like, it blew my mind. So while I was going down that rabbit hole, Corey Feldman was accusing Charlie Sheen of sexually abusing Corey Haim when they were making the movie
Lucas.
Yeah. So it's like, bro, and again, when you hear all these allegations and, you know, where there's smoke, there's fire, we always hear that. But it's like that type of sexual perversion, that type of, you know, messing with underage kids and all that, it just seems to me, Matt, like this sickness is happening, and it's predominantly happening in Hollywood. It's a lot of these people that, because by the way, human beings and at our core, we're pretty effed up creatures. Like if you didn't, and I think the more power and the more prestige and the immunity you give somebody, they're gonna do what they want. Look at Charlie Sheen. Look at Epstein. Look at all these demons, and I genuinely think that they are demons. You give them that much power, clout, and all that stuff. If you know. Like, for instance, if an average person, they're out there, they're living their life. You give them all that power, you give them that shit, you know what they're going to do? They're going to be like, hey, listen, I fucking want to hook up with kids. You do it, and you could get away with it and cleaning up. So that I wouldn't put it past.
No, and also they have more buffer. It's like, you know, you hear about Charlie Sheen as a young guy was a big ladies' man. You're like, how'd this guy go from sleeping with all these hot women to all this, like, way less appealing sexual activity, okay? Guy did a lot of drugs, right? A lot of normal people, they don't have the buffer in their life to do the amount of fucking drugs that Charlie Sheen did, okay? So when you have that money and you have your life, your life doesn't go down the tubes because you went on a 2-week bender. You just wake up and you're still in a big house and you still have a bunch of money. You're going on more benders. Then after a few benders, you're smoking crack with a male prostitute in a hotel room, right?
Yeah.
That's how.
They probably delivered it and probably sold it to you, and then you're like, you know what? There's no girls here, and the way you bent over that counter, your ass is freaking nice. Like especially like mine when I was in the protest stripper last week.
Great ass.
Yeah, but dude, I wouldn't put it past them. The amount of stuff that I've heard, because dude, I lived in LA for I want to say 17, almost 18 years, bro. Just going off of that sexuality and all that stuff. The first. I went to get headshots, and I'm just new. I'm a veteran. I'm freaking jacked. I go to get my headshots. They came out really, really good. And look at how connected of a web this place is, Matt. The headshot, the photographer was like, "Hey, you know what, man?" And he kind of like tapped me on the shoulder, which it wasn't that sexual. He's like, "Damn." He's like, "Why?" He goes, "You know what? There's an agent that I know, really, really high up. You should go see this guy." And bro, I'm new. I'm like, holy shit, let's go. But dude, so green. No, but I'm not. This is 18 years ago. Harvey Weinstein's still on the scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, so I go here. It's in downtown. It's at LA by Hamburger Hamlet towards the end of Sunset.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
By the Comedy Store. And I go in there, bro. I'm so freaking excited. I'll never forget. Older dude, he must have just got over like chemotherapy. Like, he wasn't doing well. He had insurers on the counter, and then I sit across from him, and he's like looking at my resume. He's like, okay. He's like, hey, just really quick, do you mind if you take your shirt off? Like, so I could. By the way, I'm not even joking, and I didn't hear him. I go, excuse me. I was genuinely like, I'm like, excuse me, and he goes, yeah. Can you just take your shirt off and just stand in front of me because I want to know what what we're working with. And I'm not joking. My mother, because my mother. All jokes aside, I love her to death. She would go, "Cause I was leaving the military for this, man."
Okay.
She's like, "There's nothing there but drugs and gays."
Yeah.
100% right.
100% right.
I got off the plane. There was cocaine and
One
gays.
for one,
So as this is happening, and I'm back real time, I went, "Oh my god!" And rage filled my body, and I go, "Hey, whatever the hell his name is," I go, "You see the bottom of my resume?" He's like, yeah. He's like, what? I go, look at all my training. I'm a soldier. I go, I will fucking kill you. Are you fucking crazy? And dude, he was dying of cancer. He turned white. He's like, oh no. I go, bro, I go, this is the fucking problem with people coming and chasing their dreams because they run into people like you. And it's like that type of perversion, Matt.
A lot more, and they don't talk about it for some reason. The gay male members of the power structure in Hollywood.
What is it about?
They just figure, I've seen it. Listen, I haven't seen it first layer, but I've seen it kind of like, all right, knowing the people and like, wait, that guy seems to have these young, nice, pretty boys around his office pretty consistently for no reason. They are teasing. They're teasing that they will accelerate your career. These people, the kids move to LA. They're in a tough spot. Like, you're staring up against what you have to push through to get to the top in Hollywood. And there's something that can get you there a little bit easier. And I see they'll tease it at first. They'll try to like flirt with you and be nice, and then all of a sudden when they realize like, oh, you're not gay and you're not even thinking about like the possibility about this, like, oh, okay, then now let's talk business.
And it's crazy how like it's no secret, bro. There's a lot like that power structure. There's a lot. Rob, you want to say something?
No,
because Rob is loud.
Because he
Good
said
listener.
they see what they have to push through to become
well,
and I go, I'm hearing what they have to push through. I don't want to push
but it's
through
not like
that.
it's not a secret. There's a lot of gay men that are in power in Hollywood, and sometimes if you want to move up, you gotta look what we're hearing about Diddy and all these freaking people.
Vinny, I never told this story live. I have the complete opposite story. I was living in Dubai. It's gonna tie into my story. I was living there, and someone offered me like a model.
Put your shirt on?
No, yeah, a modeling type of gig. I go like, well, I need some money, so I go there, and it was an award show for sports people. I know it's called the Laurelius Award. And that year, I was 17. That year, Kevin Spacey was hosting.
Oh God.
So I was 17, prime. I was, good shape and everything and whatever. I get there, and my job was to sit down. You know, when you have award ceremonies, like you can't have empty seats.
Yeah, you have to pack.
So they put like sport-looking people on the seats, and you will sit down. People will get their award, so there's no empty seat, and then you come back.
Yeah.
And Kevin Spacey was there. We had our dressing room on this side, Kevin Spacey on the other side, and we go say hi. Nothing happened. Nothing happened
to beg you.
He didn't try to beg me.
Oh God,
at
You're the
all.
only one. I mean,
Well,
Jesus
but
Christ.
you're saying you were in shape and you were hot. If he doesn't think that you were hot and sexy, something was off.
He was wrong. He was off. I'm a millionaire now. God damn it.
Yeah, you weren't wearing the right thing that day.
Yeah, you weren't.
was off,
I was ripped. This guy wanted to hook up with me really, really bad.
Shutters in Santa Monica. That was Spacey's spot. You just hang out in the lobby of Shutters. And
I was in the wrong place.
Oh man,
The right age, though.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, guys. Moving on to the next story. Matt, I wouldn't put it past him if he was. Anyway, Umberto, Dubai cloud seeding. What are we talking about? What's going on? Talk to me.
talking about wild times in the Middle East. I don't know if you guys saw it, like a couple
2 days.
a week ago. Dubai got flooded. I grew up in Dubai. This is not the first time this thing happens. Like, the city is not designed for rain at all.
Do you work for the CIA? I'm very, like, every time I hear you talk, like, I grew up in Dubai, then I lived in Chile. I can't talk about where I lived
Yeah,
previously.
Dubai's sus right off the bat.
Yeah.
Well-
are you a Fed?
Talk to my handler, dude.
Okay. All
Talk
right.
to my
Sorry. Go
handler.
ahead. It's very odd.
It's very odd. So, I might have a picture somewhere. I couldn't send it right now, but there's a picture of me, doing skimboarding in my street, because whenever we had a little bit of rain, the whole thing would flood. And the thing, I remember I got there in the year 2000, and it started getting bad. It was like 1 flood a year, 2, 3, and whatever. And if we go to a story, here are the pictures. Like apocalyptic. Everything got flooded. Everything got flooded. Parking lots. I don't know if you guys saw videos of like Lamborghinis, Ferraris, like with water up to the door handle.
They had no idea.
They had no idea. They haven't prepared for this, but allegedly, they keep on spending money. We're gonna go to this video so you guys know what.
Well, because that, before, not to cut you off, it's real. There's multiple. It's not a secret. It happens. They do it. They're claiming that they didn't do it this time and it wasn't the cause of it. It 100% is. It hasn't rained like that in 75 years?
Yeah.
That's messing with Mother Nature. So what video are we about to see?
Well, I'm a big believer on fuck around and find out.
Yes.
They're doing a lot of the first thing. This guy right here, they even have a name for it. It's called climate engineering.
Yeah. Oh, great.
Because they believe they're above everything. They're God right now, so they can change everything. And I'm a big fan as a conservative to keep things as much as the same as we can.
Yep.
And we're gonna hit it straight from the horse's mouth. Rob played this last week on the PB
Oh yeah, this was on
podcast.
the PB podcast last week for David Keith, right?
And this even made Colvert uncomfortable. So
Okay.
like that's how crazy.
And he's talking about geoengineering.
geoengineering, cloud seeding, and the whole.
Okay, can we
the
play
whole
that,
nine
Cal? Let's see this.
You could actually spray sulfuric acid in the stratosphere 20 kilometers over our head and use that to stop the planet warming up in a kind of ugly tech fix.
You can spray something into the atmosphere to change.
Spray pollution into the atmosphere to stop it warming.
How do you do this?
You'd start with a fleet of modified business jets and say 20,000 tons of sulfuric acid into the stratosphere every year. And each year you have to put a little more. And this doesn't, in the long run, mean that you can forget about cutting emissions. We will need to rein in
No,
emissions.
we'll get to it eventually. But in the meantime, we're shrouding the earth in sulfuric acid.
So people are terrified about talking about this because they're scared that it will prevent us
Sulfuric acid is
That we have to breathe.
Just cut the video. That's what it is. I just want you guys to hear the tone. These people, it's unbelievable.
Oh my!
Like he goes like, some people are scared of it. We're gonna put sulfuric acid in the atmosphere. Dude, stop right now.
And you know what he's saying? He's like, you're gonna breathe it, but it's not gonna be that bad compared to the other shit that's in the sky.
So we have
What a friggin' joke.
fluoride on the like in the water. We have
Fluoride, the food is shitty, the air is shitty, the
Yeah, I wrote this article last week, and I was so surprised how a good amount of the comments were like, "Hey, like cloud seeding's a great thing. Like we do it in Europe too. Like that wasn't what caused the floods. Like you're a conspiracy theorist." I'm like, "What the hell? Like why are there so many people so in favor of cloud seeding?"
Don't knock it till you try it. Add it.
Yeah, like
It's killing me. Smoking meth with a male president in a hotel room. No. Sulfuric acid in the sky. No. It's just
shooting porn on the Congress floor.
Yeah.
No. Well,
undressing
sometimes.
for Kevin Spacey. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay.
Murdering
And that
some
was
guy
in
that you
Dubai
hate.
too. What's going
Getting
on?
a fucking hot dose, getting your assistant a hot dose.
Yeah. Just don't do
Just
it.
don't do. We need one guy in every single room to like go like, don't do it. Just don't.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop
Yeah.
right now. Don't do it.
Don't clouds.
It doesn't work when President Biden does it. Last week, his warnings to Iran was like, don't.
Yo, dude.
Don't.
How'd
He
that go?
said it. He
How'd
said
that
it.
go?
Kamala said it. Blinken said it.
I can't believe it didn't work.
No, I was shocked that Iran didn't go, we're going to plan, but wait. What did he say? No? Guys, cancel the whole, not one missile, one drone will go because Biden said,
Don't.
He did the don't thing.
yeah.
Oh,
wait,
he did the don't
yeah,
thing.
imagine that, you
Okay.
just get the tap on the shoulder.
Yeah.
And what happened? Biden? Don't? Guys, finish.
All right. So my buddy here wrote the article last week. We checked the comments because we read the comments, and I love you, chat. I'm gonna say it right now. I'm actually on my phone.
Our chat is the best.
Our chat is the best.
They're no joke.
All my day ones, I know who you are.
Day ones, what's up, babies?
Yeah. Anyhow, he wrote the article. We got the comments, and everyone's like, "Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. Conspiracy theorist. This. They call them contrails, not chemtrails, contrails, because there's condensation and whatever."
Oh yeah, condensation that stays all day and all night. Okay.
And there's nothing that screams guilty more than denying before they accuse you. Let's go to the article.
Yeah.
This was a day after everything went to like crap. Everything got flooded. UAE government unit denied cloud seeding took place before Dubai floods.
Before it even happened.
Yeah.
Weird.
They're like, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
And it's so funny, like same thing happened with the thing we can talk about. They started denying that it has another effect.
Oh yeah.
Right before. So the best way to show me you're guilty is this, and I think we have a video right here. Or they well. Okay.
What about the what?
No. Anyhow, they have videos on social media that were bragging about cloud seeding.
I saw it with the. I saw the airplane that had like a bunch of these huge rockets on it that are
they
shooting.
brought a really good-looking reporter to talk to all the authorities. So guilty as charged. That's what it is. When the government say no, it's probably yes.
And you nailed it when you, well, dude, listen, it's messing with Mother Nature. It's the same with all these people that are lopping off their crotches and leave everything the way that it is. It's perfect. Like, I get it. Listen, if you want rain, move to Seattle.
Yeah.
That's what the fuck you do. I'm
Don't
sorry.
build a city in the desert.
You're in the fucking desert.
If you want food, get out of Africa.
Get
That's
out
what it is.
No, but it's true. If you want to eat, or the people that are burned by the tornado, the hurricanes hit their thing when the volcano's done erupting, they move right back.
And
Get the hell out of there.
That's why I love Florida so much, because we do have, some pretty hardcore weather here. And it gets, windy, it gets wet, and we love it. We absolutely love the weather here. Like when there's like a storm, thing, you could grab stuff, you get batteries, you get a few board games, you get some food, all the family's there, and we have a great time.
You don't go to school the next day. Yeah,
you don't
get
go to school the next day.
I was sitting there in
Hurricane
LA,
day.
like, what? These guys, hurricane, they get 5 days off. This is amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
Dude,
so
I'll never
lucky.
forget when I first got here.
That's so lucky.
When I first got here, and I was drinking like a maniac because I was, you know how it is.
'Cause why
And
not?
I'll never forget. It was the hurricane that was coming. Do you guys remember?
Yeah.
Whichever one was coming, it hit, but it didn't really
Hurricane Humberto.
hit. Hurricane Humberto.
You know what it is.
Yeah, and I'm in this, but because I'm brand new, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm drinking, and there's a dive bar. I love this bar, and old people are smoking inside. People I think 2 people died in the back like 8 minutes before, and I'm like, some guy's like, it's gonna be really bad. I go, well, should I get a generator? And this old 85-year-old lady, cigarette, the ash is right here. She goes, generator? What a pussy! I
Florida
picked
woman.
the right place to live.
Yeah, for
She
the
called me a
best
pussy
thing.
out loud too, and then turned around and the freaking cigarette burned her finger.
Before we move topics, I saw this tweet about the Dubai flooding. It was like, imagine being the guy that sold the insurance for flooding to a city in the desert and was like, these fucking idiots. Like, and then you wake
Get
up
the
that
bag.
morning. It was like, and then you wake up that morning, you see the news, and it was like a Photoshop of a guy with like 15 cigarettes just stressed as fuck smoking.
It's the same guys that sold insurance to Larry Silverstein right
no, it's
before
like a
9/11.
9/11
Yeah,
thing,
that's
yeah.
hilarious. Well, guess what? Like I said, get the hell out of freaking. If you want rain, I don't think messing with anything with Mother Nature.
Move
out of there.
Move out of where. If you
Guess
want to
what?
go to Canada.
Go to Canada. There's nobody's there. Go to Canada. Everybody
Yeah.
wants to come
If
here.
you're looking for it to just suck, just go to Canada.
Yeah,
just
go to
You don't have to
Canada.
engineer the
Or
suckage.
Europe.
Yeah, just go
Yeah.
to Canada. It rains there too, and it snows. All right, guys. Last story, which I just love the title of it. Rob, zombie deer. What the hell is going on? Is this real?
Well, it seems to be. So there's an article that came out in the Daily Mail last week. If we could pull it up, it's 2 hunters become first Americans to die from zombie deer disease. What this is it's a disease called chronic wasting disease. It has only affected deer. They also said elk. Let me see. I have a list. Deer, elk, reindeer, caribou, and moose are normally the only animals that are infected by this. However, this disease in which the muscles from basically the deers waste away over the course of a year. And for the first time in human history, the disease has been confirmed to have jumped from deer to man. What they believe are two hunters, a 72-year-old man and his hunting buddy, ate infected deer meat that had the deers had chronic wasting disease, and both men ended up succumbing to the disease. The disease leaves deer confused, drooling, and unafraid of humans, kind of like Biden. Maybe Biden has wasting away disease because you look at him, he just stares and drools like these deers do. The disease is throughout the United States. It's nothing new. The disease has been in the United States since at least the early 60s. They say there's 32 states and 436 counties where these diseased deer have been found. The problem with this disease is that there are no treatments, no vaccines. It's 100% fatal. Anytime a deer tests positive or dies on a farm and tests positive for the disease, every deer that's on that farm is considered to be infected and has to be killed.
Oh, shit.
This is like Walking Dead type shit.
I was just going to say, isn't this how World War Z or one of these movies started where two people just like...
Here's some of the signs of deer that have the wasting disease. Depression, drooping head. That's Delhi. Delhi has like extremely skinny.
It's weed.
Depression, stumbling.
He drools when he's got the munchies. Little fear humans. How many men has Delhi gone up and touched?
All
Every
the
single
deer
one of
on
us
Ozempic.
here.
What's going
Yeah,
on?
And he stumbles all over the. Delhi has wasting deer disease.
Or the deer are smoking weed.
Oh yes, that's it.
So for people that don't know, Delhi works here, and if there's, it's just can they Google Delhi?
You Google it, just comes up.
Director Delhi on Instagram.
If you want to see Delhi, he was a
SEO that one real
co-host
good.
on one of the shows. I can't mention it right now.
Okay.
But
He's a video editor.
Rob, so here's my question.
Yeah.
This just, whenever this just started, this thing just, so if it hits a human, you're dead.
Well, the only reason they believe the guys died from it was because they ate the meat. But okay, if these guys ate the meat, could Shane eat the meat? Could Humberto eat the meat? If you remember in the mid-90s, because I remember this very vividly, there was mad cow disease. Yeah. There was a huge, it was on every, I remember my parents watching the news, and we couldn't eat McDonald's. We used to get McDonald's on the way home every Friday from karate. If we went to karate all week, the reward was McDonald's.
Poison.
Yeah, so here, you worked out all week, now go fill your body with Big Macs.
Yeah, with poison.
And look how well
poison.
that worked out. We weren't allowed to have McDonald's for, it felt like a year, because every news report reported on mad cow disease where you would eat this infected meat and it would rot your brain. The problem was you wouldn't know that you ate the infected meat because it would take years before your brain would rot away and you'd become infected. Oh. So what they're saying is two of these guys, the guy in his 70s, ate the infected meat and passed away. He had rapid onset confusion and aggression. He started having seizures, and within a month, he died. The diagnosis after his death was Creutzfeldt-Jakob syndrome, a brain-wasting condition that has been compared with mad cow disease, which is what these animals are dying from, the chronic wasting disease.
And you said Biden, but he lives in Delaware, so and that was on the map,
well,
too.
The mad cow disease is still around. Now they just paint their hair blue. But anyhow,
they are the disease. They don't get the disease from.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a blue heifer.
Yeah.
That's a blue heifer.
A blue heifer.
But
They got the fucking cow ring. They got the ring.
That's
they
true.
got
That's
the
true,
ring,
too.
the
Dude,
blue
that's
hair.
the most unattractive thing I've ever seen.
As a cow myself, I found that offensive. Go ahead.
I'm actually I'm finding silver lining here.
What?
I'm actually glad that the origin story doesn't involve fucking like AIDS. At least they ate the meat.
Yeah.
Didn't touch a cow.
Yeah.
So that's a
Well,
good thing.
the hunters were both from Texas, so maybe they did fuck the. Because you don't admit when you're dying of this disease you got from the deer. You don't go, well, we both fucked it.
He's 72. The guy is 72 years old. They needed something a little kinky to get him going at this point.
But if this becomes prevalent, I already made a vow to myself that the next pandemic, disease, or whatever, I'm not gonna stand for it. I don't want to survive. I'm gonna go.
You're done? You're gonna check
I'm
out?
done. I'm gonna go all in. If this becomes prevalent, I'm gonna go eat a deer. I'm gonna speed it up and just go eat deer, and that's what
And
it
just
is.
rock it?
It's I'm not gonna stand for being locked up and not eating meat for years. I'm done.
Well, I mean, how much?
I want to be the first victim, or the second, or the third.
Well, how much of this?
That's
How much
it.
of this, Rob, goes into the fact that they're? I mean, because hunters eat this deer meat. I mean, people eat deer meat all the time. Rogan, all these guys, elk, all that stuff, caribou. How big of a problem is it for just straying away from people from eating meat. Because then, I mean, this could obviously, who's to say this can jump to cows and other shit?
I would hope that if you, when you're hunting, take a look. I mean, take a look at what these deer look like when they're infected with the disease. I would hope that somebody that's experienced and you know, like Joe Rogan, you're right. He goes out and he hunts caribou and then eats it raw.
That's it?
But like, if you saw that, hopefully you don't shoot that. You go, that's fucked up.
That's the problem. We got all these wellness bros going around eating their gaming meat, and like we increase the amount of people eating deer and elk like exponentially recently. Hopefully, ice baths can like solve this crisis.
It's a price I'm willing to pay.
Wasting. Look at this.
Yeah.
Falling apart.
Not even Rogan would eat that.
No, hell no.
Roll, stumble, and act aggressively.
Oh,
just like
shit, that
zombies.
doesn't help.
The Walking Dead.
Is that real? No.
That's pretty freaking
But
wild.
deer infestation is like a huge thing, at least in the Northeast. So like, who's to say this isn't Mother Nature just like clearing up the overpopulation of deer? I mean, like on the topic of not interfering, it's like you got to let the zombie deer thing play its course.
Well, we like to talk about predictive programming on the program. We've talked about, you remember the movie, what was it?
Leave the World Behind?
Leave the
The
World
Obamas
Behind.
made?
Yep, and then Civil War came out like a week or two ago, and people are saying that's foreshadowing. Are you guys familiar with what's going on with the copyrights to a bunch of the classic Disney movies?
No.
Where over time, I forget the actual term, the copyright or the trademark for certain characters created by Disney have expired.
Oh, yeah.
So what people are doing is they're not. What's that?
What's it called? Common property. It's
Common domain.
common domain.
Like Mickey Mouse? Like Mickey Mouse?
Yeah, we have an attorney. We should ask him.
They entered the public domain.
Yeah, so what they did was the Winnie the Pooh came up and it expired and they entered the public domain. And so these guys went and they made a horror movie featuring Winnie the Pooh and Piglet slaughtering these kids that are on, like Jason. Remember the old Friday the 13th movies?
Yeah.
He made a parody of that, but Winnie the Pooh's a serial killer. Well, now we got chronic wasting disease. That company that put out the Winnie the Pooh murder movie have now created a second movie based on an expired public domain character from Disney. The next movie coming out later this year, a remake of the 1942 Disney classic Bambi.
Oh, no.
This is called Bambi the Reckoning. If you want to talk about foreshadowing, here's some possible foreshadowing.
Oh, wow.
Take a look at this preview. This is the trailer for the upcoming movie Bambi the Reckoning.
Let's see it.
Should be.
Oh.
You ever shot a deer?
No. Have you?
Yeah. Once.
Bambi's mom. And now Bambi wants to no.
Are you serious?
What?
Watch.
Wait. Oh, shit.
This is coming this year, and I would go and say, well, that deer certainly looks like it might be infected with some type of disease. So, are we closer than ever to a zombie apocalypse? I'll let you guys decide.
Wait, the Leave the World Behind movie poster had a deer on it. Remember that?
Oh, shit!
Remember that? What the fuck?
Oh, yeah, what do you mean the deer kept circling around people, and the deer were
With the
a
antlers.
major part because she'd look up and there's like 50 deer standing behind her.
Oh,
All right,
Kelly, you're
holy
the best.
shit.
Show that
What are they
video.
trying to tell us?
So wait.
We're breaking
So
this shit
What
down.
are they trying to tell us?
It's all predictive programming in the same universe, like Marvel.
I think so. Well, listen, I would not put it past them, but dude, that's Rob. Look at this connection that we just made.
It's just very odd. The timing of this disease jumping to human, this movie coming, I'm sure that it's just a coincidence. But it's a coincidence that's worth talking about and noting.
Well, if you guys are driving out there and you hit a deer,
Don't eat it.
don't eat it, but get out and be
Not
like,
eating
yeah,
venison.
bitch. Like, actually get in its face.
Yeah, make sure that shit's dead. If you ever watch a Walking Dead, right, they go through the brain. That's what you have to do. You have to get them in the brain. So go for the brain.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
I'll keep that in mind.
That's pretty wild. All right, guys. Matt, thank you so much for being here, bro. We
Thanks for
covered
having me.
murder, zombies. Umberto hates Europe.
Charlie Sheen hates assistants.
Yeah, he hates his assistants. He might also be a pedophile. people are bringing dead people into banks, but to get loans, which I would have probably gone through with it. If we were related and you died on the way to the bank, Umberto, we're going in. What's up, Gal? Yeah,
Right.
yeah, you can vote with a dead person's ID.
Yeah,
you
why
can
not?
do all this.
Can't say take a loan out.
By the way, a lot of death, deer, Biden, this,
Dubai.
Dubai.
Jimmy, you can take care of. You can take all my money. Just take care of my wife,
I
like
appreciate-
Arab style.
Listen, I would. I have your back. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Matt, thank you for being here, brother. I really,
Thank you
really
for having me.
appreciated it. All right, guys, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe right there. It's right there. For all the people that already have all of our number ones, the people that are in the chat that are actively involved and talking and sharing, we love you guys from the bottom of our hearts. Have a great week. Take care of each other. Love each other. We'll see you guys next week.